Please welcome Congresswoman Val Demings.
Honor to join you today as the representative of Congressional District 10. As we navigate through this very critical yet historical time for our nation. And I could not be more honored to welcome my colleague from Congress, my friend and co-laborer in the Congressional Black Caucus, the next Vice President of the United States, Senator Kamala Harris. Let's make some... You know what they say about America. We are the land of opportunity. America, the place where despite the color of your skin, your gender, your sexual orientation, religion, or how much money you have in the bank, you can live up to your full potential. America, as we witness today Orlando history being made, we are so proud to have the first woman of color on a major party ticket. Women, are you proud? Jamaican Americans, are you proud? Asian Americans, are you proud? Matter of fact, all of America, are you proud? We are only 2 weeks away. We're only 2 weeks away from Election Day, when you all know we will decide our future. Our future is right here in our hands. Only 2 weeks away when we decide the future of our loved ones, the future of our families, the future of our friends, the future of our nation. And how befitting it is for Senator Harris to help us kick off the first day of early voting. America is in trouble. You all know what we currently have. America is in trouble, but I came today to tell you that help is on the way. When we elect Joe Biden, the next president of the United States, and Kamala Harris, the next vice president of the United States. What's on the ballot? Health care is on the ballot. Am I right about it? Science is on the ballot. seniors are on the ballot. Health care, Social Security, and Medicare are all on the ballot. Future for our children and our grandchildren is all on the ballot. Do we care about that? How about our environment? Our environment is on the ballot. Do we care about that? Our national security is on the ballot. Do we care about that? Just 2 weeks away. Just 2 weeks away. Just 2 weeks away before we represent the only team, or before we elect the only team that can save the soul of our nation. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, let's get it done. And now it is my honor to introduce someone I call Orlando's pastor, someone who is a teacher and a preacher, someone who understands that true ministry extends beyond the four walls of the church, someone who has been involved, continue to be involved, and improving the quality of life for every person. Please join me in welcoming the Reverend Randolph Bracey.
Thank you, Congresswoman Valdez Demings. Hello, I am Reverend Randolph Bracey Jr., retired pastor of 35 years, spanning the states of Pennsylvania and Florida. Presently, I am considered to be the elder statesman of black ministers here in the city of Orlando and Orange County, Florida. Over my 75 years as a native-born Floridian, I've had many honors, but nothing comparable to what I'm about to do at this present moment. I have met and been introduced to many princes and potentates, but never have I been on program to introduce a potential vice President of the United States of America. As a preacher, I take liberty of doing what I do best, and that's to bring some good news to an awaiting congregation. In the book of Romans in the New Testament, the Apostle Paul declares that we speak those things that are not as though they were. Because I may never have this opportunity again, as a prophet of God, I'm going to speak into the atmosphere and into the future these words of introduction of the next Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate to the 46th President of the United States of America. Back in 2008, the 44th President of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, prior to the winning of the presidency, said that the state of Florida was the key for the Democrats winning the national election. Guess what? Central Florida stretches the I-4 corridor from Tampa, St. Pete through to Daytona Beach, is the key for winning the state of Florida. I said back in 2008, 12 years, nothing has changed. Today, Democrats win Florida, game over. Well, I'll say that again. Democrats win Florida, game over. Madam Vice President, you are standing in the center of Central Florida, the city beautiful, Orlando. We win Florida, we change the trajectory of this nation. I told you I was a preacher. Prophetically, in January 2021, I see both of them, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, standing side by side, taking the oath of office to protect and defend the United States of America. Orlandoans and Central Floridians, I am delighted to introduce Kamala Harris for many reasons. She's a woman of color. She's a leader. She is a product of the historically black college and university community. She is a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. She is a fearless trailblazer who will bring real and needed change to this country. And most of all, she will tell the truth, which is in short supply in this present administration. Sister will tell the truth. Today begins early voting here in the state of Florida. And great things right here in the state of Florida, because the state of Florida is going to turn out and vote early for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. As many of the Z generation says, we are woke here in Florida. And now, it is my honor, privilege, and pleasure to introduce to you the next Vice President of the United States of America, Senator Kamala Harris. Let's give a Florida welcome.
Queen that you can be becoming. You can look in my palm and see the storm coming. Read the book of my life and see I've overcome it. Just because the length of your hair ain't long, and they often criticize you for your skin tone. Gonna hold your head high cause you a pretty woman. Get your runway stride on and keep it going. Girl, live your life. I just wanna be myself. Yeah, don't sweat, girl, be yourself. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Girl, be yourself. That's why I be myself. And if you love it, let them get mad.
Oh, look at what my eyes behold. Today, I had to come here on the kickoff of early voting in Florida because y'all are going to make it happen. You will make it happen. What you will do here in Florida, in Orlando, what you will do by early voting is you will be the first to put our country back on the right track. It is you. You will do that. You will do that. Who's voted already? All right. You will be the first. And you have been the first. And I am so happy to be back in Florida. I am so happy to be back in Orlando. And I cannot thank you because, as Val Demings said, there is so much on the ballot in 2020. Justice is on the ballot in 2020. Economic justice is on the ballot in 2020. Climate justice is on the ballot in 2020. Healthcare justice is on the ballot in 2020. Reproductive justice is on the ballot in 2020. Criminal justice reform is on the ballot in 2020. Climate reform is on the ballot in 2020. Everything is on the ballot in 2020. Joe Biden is on the ballot in 2020. And we're going to get this done. And we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. And I don't need to tell everybody here what's at stake. There's so much at stake. You know, here in Florida already, you all know, 1 in 8 Floridians describe their household as being hungry in September. 1 in 8. 1 in 5 Floridians described that they couldn't pay the rent in the month of September. And let's think about how we got here. I don't know if you all saw that debate that we did a couple weeks ago. But, you know, Joe's been on the stage debating. We have another debate coming up. He did an amazing job at that town hall. Did y'all watch that? Right? It was a true exercise in contrast. So what we know is this. Back in January, the current occupant of the White House knew he had inside information. He knew that this virus was 5 times more deadly than the flu. He knew it would impact children of America. He knew it was airborne. But what did he do? He kept that information to himself. I call it a cover-up. He didn't let you know on January 28th what he knew on January 28th. Can you imagine if you all knew, if we knew on January 28th what he knew? Can you imagine what parents and families and each of us might have been able to do to prepare for this? If we had known it was airborne, what we might have done in the spirit, Reverend, of love thy neighbor, to make sure we all wore masks every day. What folks might have been able to do, knowing already in our country that in 99% of the counties in America before the pandemic, if you were a minimum wage worker working full-time, you couldn't afford market rate for a 1-bedroom apartment. What America would have done to prepare for the inevitability that businesses might shut down, to prepare. Because in Trump's America, it will not be the case in Joe Biden's America, but folks are working without paid family leave, without paid sick leave. What people might have done to prepare. But he didn't tell the American people. He covered it up. And now we look at where we are. And we are in the midst of 4 crises happening at the same time, in the moment where we are also witnessing the greatest failure of any presidential administration in the history of America. So we are looking at a public health crisis, which I describe as being a crisis of proportion in terms of the loss of life like we have not seen since World War II. Over 215, we're approaching 220,000 human beings. Their lives lost. So many who couldn't even be, because of the nature of the virus, with their families in their last days. We're looking at over 8 million people who contracted the virus. We're looking at over 30 million people who had to file for unemployment insurance. We're looking at our children, so many of whom don't have access to broadband, much less have a laptop, and are trying to now figure out how to get the education that they deserve because of the God-given talent they have, and how that should be nurtured. But yet there is no access, and no meaningful access, to the education they need. These days lost because of this virus that this man had an opportunity to deal with, but denied fact, denied science, and lied to the American people. So we know we need a change, and a change is coming. And then, in the middle of it all, you know, you all have been hearing me talking about it. Donald Trump has this weird obsession with trying to get rid of whatever Barack Obama and Joe Biden created. Have you noticed that? It's this weird obsession, right? Local. And so, in the midst of a public health crisis, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, who in their administration created the most extensive public health coverage we've ever seen with the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. And do you know Donald Trump is in court right now trying to get rid of it? With his boy, Bill Barr, trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act that brought coverage to over 20 million people. That said, if you have pre-existing conditions, things like diabetes. Do you know anybody who has diabetes? Pre-existing conditions like high blood pressure, breast cancer, all of these things now covered because of the Affordable Care Act that Barack Obama and Joe Biden created, and Donald Trump is in court trying to sue to get rid of it. But we're not going to let him. We're not going to let him. Because what we know and what Joe knows is access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. So we're going to fight. We're going to expand Medicare. Joe Biden is going to bring down eligibility for Medicare to age 60. We're going to bring down prescription drug costs. We are going to preserve Social Security and the promise we made to our seniors. We're going to expand coverage under the Affordable Care Act to include mental health care because folks have been traumatized, and we've got to stop treating health care as though the body just starts from the neck down. Let's deal with health care from the neck up. These are the things we're going to do. And by the way, you know, in those debates, as per usual, you can rely on Donald Trump to engage in distortions and basically lie to the American people. So let's be clear about this. Joe Biden will not increase taxes on anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year. Period. So there are a lot of issues at play. So many issues at play, and there's so much at stake. And I wanted to come, I just landed, this is my first stop today, and I wanted to come here to see you for the kickoff of early voting, to thank you, because, you know, as much as they've been trying to destroy our democracy, the one thing I know is that when the people are prepared to fight for our country based on love of country, they can never do us any harm, because we will stand up and we will march and we will organize and we will vote and we will fight for our country. So we know what's at stake. And so here's the bottom line. You know, in Florida, I mean, I know what's going on here. I've been reading about and hearing about. Y'all been telling me about it. I mean, you know, aside from the incredible leadership that you've got in Congresswoman Val Demings and of course, Stephanie Murphy and Senator Bill Nelson, who was a great friend. I know you got some other elected officials in the state, too, that aren't doing necessarily what's in the best interest of all the people. And so I want to say this. You know, when we see these examples of people trying to make it difficult for folks to vote, and it's happening all over the country, people trying to suppress the vote, Donald Trump trying to confuse people about the integrity of our voting system, trying to suggest that you can't trust it, right? But we know better, and we know when somebody's trying to play us. We know when someone is trying to pull the wool over our eyes, trying to discourage us, trying to deflate our enthusiasm, trying to suggest to us that we don't matter. We can see that. We know that. That's not new to us. And in the face of these moments, we ask ourselves then a question: why are so many powerful people trying to get in the way of us voting? Why are these powerful people trying to suggest we can't trust the system, putting in place laws that are designed to suppress the vote, trying to purge the voter rolls, trying to make it difficult? Why are they doing that? And the answer, of course, we know is this: because they know when we vote, we win. When we vote, we change things. We make it better. We know our power. We know our power. They know our power. They know our power, and we know our power. And that's why we're all here today, because we know our power. And we know we will never let anybody take our power from us. Never. And so that's why we're all here today, to say we are powerful, we are strong, we stand together in unity. We stand here as a coalition of people that represent the beautiful diversity of who we are as a country. And we know that when we vote and when we use our voice, we win. We know our country is worth it. We know and can see a better day. And so let's get out there and organize folks and make sure everybody votes, and we will win. Thank you, Florida. Thank you. Thank you.
There's so many girls, I hear you've been running from the beautiful queen that you can be becoming. You can look in my palm and see the storm coming. Read the book of my life and see I've overcome it. Just because the length of your hair ain't long, and they often criticize you for your skin tone. Gonna hold your head high, cause you're a pretty woman. Get your runway stride home and keep it going. Girl, live your life. I just wanna be myself. Don't sweat, girl, be yourself. Follow me, follow me, follow me. Girl, be yourself. That's why I be myself. And if you love it, let them get mad. They gon' hate anyway, don't you get that? Doesn't matter if you're going along with their plan. They'll never be happy cause they're not happy with themselves. I'm talking about things that I know. It's okay, show yourself some love. Don't worry about who's saying what. Feeling great because the lights on me. Celebrating the things that everyone told me were never happening.